I finally found my passion, and believe it or not, it was right where I left it. What's up guys, Matty B here and welcome to No Going Back. For years I've been obsessed with uncovering my passion, with finding my purpose, with unearthing that thing that makes me uniquely me and gives me a reason to get up in the morning. I searched everywhere. But all jokes aside, I really did look everywhere. And what I found was that the harder I looked for this elusive purpose to my life, the more it seemed to evade me and the more frustrated I became. I found myself unwilling to chase any possible maybes unless I knew what it was, because I was afraid that if I wasn't moving in the direction of my purpose and passion, that I'd be potentially moving in the wrong direction. So inaction was better than the wrong action. Incidentally, this is a key part of the diagnosis I got in therapy, but that's a story for another video. So I stayed stagnant, constantly on the lookout for a shortcut or an answer or a sign from the heavens that would poetically and assuredly confirm the thing I was put on this earth to do. And guess what? I got nothing. At about the same time, the world caught a virus and we were all locked down and restricted to our homes. Suddenly, the whole world was in a state of stagnation and forced inactivity. And along with that came the lack of distractions. There was nowhere to go and nothing to do. Fortunately, I was lucky enough to be involved in an anthology project with a number of filmmakers from around the world, each making a short film from within the confines of the lockdown. The challenge was having a distinct lack of cast, crew, and locations. I was struggling to come up with an idea. However, the mind is a wonderful thing and creativity abhors a vacuum. So before I knew it, I had an idea, a script, and began shooting. It was challenging, exhausting, and a lot of fun. What I hadn't expected to enjoy as much as I did was stepping in front of the camera in an acting capacity. Growing up in high school, I loved drama and being the center of attention. I'd even planned to pursue acting straight out of high school. However, life happens, and between bullying and a couple of traumatic events and developing a very low self-esteem and self-confidence, I decided that I didn't want to be seen. I wanted to hide away. But I still loved films, so I opted for a role on the other side of the camera. What was interesting was that being stuck in lockdown and committing to creating a project I had no idea how to pull off forced me to think creatively and overcome the inherent obstacles. I then began to think back to when I was a kid growing up and how I used to love to dress up into costumes and play characters. I remember having to act out movie plots when playing with my friends, and I would recite lines to movies to anyone who would listen. It turns out the younger version of myself knew long ago what his passion was. But as he got older and the outside world put pressures and expectations on him to be a certain way, act a certain way, and follow a certain path, the passion he had had for acting got less and less of an acceptable thing. Without realizing, I had gone through the passion uncovering procedure that is often prescribed to find your calling. Namely, think about the things you loved to do as a kid. What did you want to be when you grew up? What did you want to do before the world got scary and stressful and expectations were placed on everything? So now I know what I want and I'm going after it. And for me, that is scary to admit. Because now there are stakes involved. Before, when I was just coasting through life with no real goal or purpose, there were no expectations and thus no disappointment. But the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And that step for me is declaring that I know what I want and to go after it, with the only expectation to enjoy the process, to follow the passion and the joy that young Matt had and let that be the guiding compass. So watch this space and let's see how the journey unfolds and if I can make young Matt proud. But I would love to hear from you guys. What's a dream or passion that you had when you were younger, before the world started putting expectations on everything? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching guys, and until next time, I'm Matty B, and be kind to one another.